Father Time is undefeated. We know it, you know it, and the league's oldest vets definitely know it. And while some players fight that clock with everything they've got, others, well, they start eyeing that sunset, the beach house, and the Monday mornings without ice baths. And others, well, they face the misery of being jettisoned out of the league against their will. 2025 is shaping up to be a major crossroads year for some of the NFL's biggest names. Future Hall of Famers, Pro Bowlers, and fan favorites who might just be one injury, one contract snub, or one playoff flameout away from saying, "I'm out." So, let's take a look at the NFL landscape heading into 2025 and pick out 10 former stars that could be pushed into retirement by the end of the year. Aaron Rodgers, QB, New York Jets. The blinker's on, the exit ramp is coming up fast, and for once, Aaron Rodgers is not being cryptic about it. Nope, he's not taking a page out of his predecessor's book. He is doing the opposite and calling his retirements ahead of time. After a very bizarre 2-year run with the Jets that included a 4-snap season, 1 Achilles tear, and 0 playoff wins, Rodgers is now suiting up for the Pittsburgh Steelers in a 1-year farewell tour type deal. And if you believe him, and that's, always a calculated gamble, this is going to be the final chapter. It's a bit of a surprise that the Steelers are even interested in Rodgers after what we saw from him in Green last season. His attempt at mounting a comeback in 2024 was 3,897 yards, 28 TDs across 17 starts as the Jets limped home at 7-10 again, missing the playoffs for a 13th straight year. Now we're expected to believe that he can go out there and find a way to rally this mediocre Pittsburgh side so his career can end with a bang? In all likelihood, the smart money says that this is just one last strange pit stop before the inevitable gold jacket. Either way, Rodgers has 1 foot out the door, and whether this season miraculously goes well or it goes poorly, it looks like there is a very real chance that he might actually walk through those retirement arches. Matthew Stafford, QB, Los Angeles Rams. The questions have been piling up about Matthew Stafford this offseason. Based off of what we saw in 2024, there is reason not to believe in the veteran. He absolutely shredded defenses for 3,762 yards with 20 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions, locked up a 10-7 record and a wildcard playoff berth. Oh, and he nearly knocked off the eventual champion Eagles. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty solid indicator that he could keep it rolling. But apparently, the rumor mill has been churning, in spite of the fact that folks out in LA seem to be really excited about him heading into the season. The former Super Bowl champ has been the engine behind the Rams offense since McVay handed him the keys. But after battling through rib fractures, back pain, elbow issues, and just everything short of outright torture, Stafford is now at age 37. He's somehow holding it together, but the runway is shortening. If the Rams regress, or heck, his body throws in the towel, do not be shocked if 2025 is his last drive. And look, the man has earned the right to walk away on his terms. But the question is, will his body let him? Will the City of Angels turn on him and try to make the decision for him? Well, only time will tell. Travis Kelce, TE, Kansas City Chiefs. He is still the guy, but how much longer does he want to be? Travis Kelce remains one of the most unstoppable forces at tight end, even as he enters his age 36 season. He is Mahomes' security blanket, red zone cheat code, and the face of every other commercial between quarters. It's safe to say that his pockets have been filling up, albeit while the hits have piled up on the field. The knees are creaking a little louder, and Kelce himself has not shied away from saying that the end is coming. And with all he has going on the field and business-wise, we don't blame him. If the Chiefs win another ring in 2025, just don't be shocked if he rides off into the podcasting sunset with Taylor Swift concert passes and a Hall of Fame ticket in his pocket. David Baktiari, LT, free agent. There's some hope that Baktiari could still be one of the NFL's best when he's on the field, but it's kind of been the issue, hasn't it? David has battled more knee problems than your average player, more than most vets too. Once an elite blindside protector, his availability has become the biggest liability. And there is reason to wonder if it'll have a toll on his ability to do his job. Now 34 and without a team, the window is closing fast. If he doesn't land somewhere before camp, or worse, lands and can't stay healthy, it might finally be time to call it. Von Miller, Edge, Washington Commanders. There was a time when hearing the name Von Miller meant panic for opposing quarterbacks. The get off, the bend, the finish. Oh, it wasn't a matter of if he'd get to you, but when. From his Super Bowl 50 MVP to his dominant Denver days to his clutch burst with the Rams in 2021, Von was that dude. a certified game wrecker. But fast forward to the present and things are a bit different. And he's gone from being a relentless every down force to situational at best. I mean, just look at his numbers from with Buffalo, where he logged just 14 sacks in 36 games. That is a far cry from prime Vaughn, back when Von Miller was actually amongst the top defensive players in the league. There's a reason there are no more cries for MVP votes, but instead, whispers about being a rotational depth piece. The two-time Super Bowl champ just didn't look like the same predator off the edge last season with the Bills, so much so that they left him out of the plans while retooling their defense this offseason. Now he has landed in DC, where they want him to serve as a veteran presence on that young D-line. But come on, let's be real. If he can't stay healthy or impact games the way that he used to, this might be it. One of the best edge rushers of the past decade, a two-time champ, a future Hall of Famer, and possibly a guy playing his final NFL snaps in burgundy and gold. Because there is no guarantee that he can continue to perform. And that could very well drop the curtain on one of the best edge rushers of the last decade. Calais Campbell, DL, Arizona Cardinals. The man is 6'8", nearly 300 pounds, and still very productive at age 39. Calais Campbell is aging like a fine wine. A truck-sized bottle of wine, but a bottle of wine nonetheless. But dude, even the toughest warriors know when it's time to lay down the sword. Campbell signed with the Cardinals for what looks like a true final lap. One last playoff push, one last chance to wreak havoc in the trenches when the game is on the line, and then, well, your guess is as good as ours. Well, he played well in 2024 with the Dolphins, racking up 5 sacks, a dozen run stuffs, and spreading disruption every time he rotated in. There is reason to believe that he might call it on a legendary career. After all, he signed a 1-year deal to return to the Arizona Cardinals this offseason, where it all started back in 2008. And that day sort of felt just like a full circle moment, a one last ride kind of story. Seems like there's a real chance that he takes one more go at it and then hangs him up for good. No drama, no farewell tour, just a defensive superstar finishing the job in the same city where it all began. Zack Hertz, TE, Washington Commanders. Zack Hertz is not going quietly into that football night. Despite being 34, beat up, and on the back end of a career that has seen 3 Pro Bowls and a Super Bowl ring, the veteran tight end is not ready to hang it up just yet. Oh no, not even close. I still want to play football next year, Hertz told reporters after the Commanders' NFC Championship loss to Philly last season. I just want to make that clear that I'm not retiring. End quote. Yeah. Crystal clear. Hertz had himself a respectable bounce-back season in DC. 66 catches, 654 yards, 7 touchdowns, and showed some very surprising chemistry with rookie phenom Jaden Daniels. A reunion with Kingsbury seemed to reignite the old flame, not to mention his passion for the game. And here's the thing, the Commanders have real expectations now. They're not going to run it back just because it feels good. If Hertz struggles right out the gate, they may well decide to go younger at tight end, and in a hurry. After all, this is a huge season for them to keep building momentum. If Hertz ends up stumbling in the depth charts, this very well could be his last rodeo. He wants in for 2025, and he got it. But anything beyond that decision may not entirely be up to him. Stephon Gilmore, CB, free agent. Yeah, this one's pretty simple. Stephon Gilmore wants in, but only on his terms. At 35, the former Defensive Player of the Year is still a technician, a smart, savvy vet with a ring, 5 Pro Bowls, and the kind of resume that gets you into Canton conversations. But that does not mean he's getting calls left, right, and center. After a one-and-done stint in Minnesota, Gilmore's chilling in the free agent pool. He's still unsigned, still waiting for the right situation. I still love the game, he said on the Money Down podcast, but I'm not just going to sign anywhere. End quote. Translation, no rebuilding squads, no veteran minimum for mentor duties deals. If you want Gilmore, it better be worth his while. Not entirely surprising to hear from an uber-competitive guy like Gilmore, who accrued 5 Pro Bowls and 2 first-team All-Pro nods on his resume. Problem is, well, at this stage in his career, teams may not be lining up to roll that dice. If training camp comes and goes with no bites, well, Gilmore could be done whether he likes it or not. Adam Thielen, WR, Carolina Panthers. Adam Thielen has actually been open about the fact that this could be his last NFL season. The heart says that he's got one more run left. The body, well, that's a part that's TBD, as well as whether or not he gets the blessing from his family. Adam Thielen will suit up for year 12 with the Panthers, but he's not sugarcoating anything. 2025 might be it. It could be. Yeah, he said at a team event. Like every year, you look back and say, hey, what do I have to give to this game? End quote. And truthfully, he's given quite a lot, climbing from undrafted free agent to back-to-back Pro Bowler to a genuine wide receiver one in Minnesota, and now he's been a critical veteran presence in Carolina during their rebuild. He's been steady, productive, and a leader in a locker room that has really needed one. But the Panthers are still in transition mode, and Thielen turns 35 this season. If he's not extended and the team decides to develop younger targets, it wouldn't be shocking to see him call it a career. One last season, one last run. Then maybe, just maybe, the curtain closes, and we see the end of an all-time NFL underdog story. Jimmy Garopolo, QB, Los Angeles Rams. From Super Bowl starter to clipboard jockey to who knows? Jimmy Garoppolo might be the NFL's most photogenic backup in 2025, but don't let that smile fool you. The writing is on the wall, and the fade-out has already begun. After flopping in Vegas and serving a 2-game suspension to open last season, Jimmy G landed softly with Sean McVay and the Rams, purely as Stafford's insurance. And let's be honest, the starter's gig is not opening up in LA. Unless Matthew's arm actually falls off. At 33, Garoppolo still could be a serviceable spot starter. But this is the part of the career arc where former Golden Boys start eyeing suits, studio gigs, and stuff at Fox Sports. He hasn't said the R word yet, but don't be surprised if this is Jimmy G's final year playing football. Or, holding a clipboard at least. Before he's holding a mic. But hey, which former NFL superstar do you think could get pushed into retirement after the season? Who do you think we're right on here? Who do you think we missed? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.